Really, we talked earlier about the fact that, to me, it's pretty simple. The NFL, there are many clauses in contracts. You work for the NFL. And if at any time you are putting some sort of shame onto the image of the NFL, they can come in and intercept, for lack of a better word. The NFL is just kind of being wishy-washy here, though, on this issue. And I think it's just bad to have this national anthem thing going on, especially 9/11, on 9/11. So an interesting story, Oneida County Undersheriff Rob Swenzkowski is having a bit of a protest of his own. We spoke of one earlier this morning, and Rob has his. Good morning, sir. Thanks for coming on.
How are you, Bill? Great to talk to you again.
So you're protesting here.
Well, yeah, first I got to preface that by saying Rob Swenzkowski's protesting the NFL, not the undersheriff.
Got it. Understood.
Yeah, it's just my own personal thing, and man, you just hit it on the head. I kind of go back to the peace and police officers that not only work with me, but work throughout the state and the nation. They work and their constitutional rights are limited, even off duty, regarding their conduct and what they can express.
Yeah.
Even the right to not incriminate themselves is limited through garrity. I mean, there's a lot of concessions they make for being in this line of work. And what you just said with the NFL, it's not Mr. Kaepernick or anyone else that I have an issue with expressing themselves. It's where they're doing it, and that the NFL has said, no,
right,
this is not a venue for your personal philosophies or what have you.
Yeah, yeah.
That the NFL has not said that.
Can I though
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
make something really, really just an observation? Rob, you're saying, and you made it very clear in the beginning, that this is Rob Swenzkowski, the guy. You have your collection at home of NFL memorabilia. This is what you do on your off time, and on your own page, you've decided this is what I'm doing. I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna do my own little protest and demonstration.
Yep.
The key
just
here,
like I think should have been done in the public. I mean, I didn't put on my uniform and hold a press conference and say, let's boycott the NFL.
That's
the
point.
Personal Facebook page. I said, this is how I feel.
These guys could do whatever they want.
Absolutely.
On their own, but to do it on the field with your uniform on as a part of the team, it's something that the NFL always discourages and in some cases prevents people from doing. I don't understand why they haven't stepped in here.
And Bill, just on more of a personal level, you brought up a great point when you said the word team. If me, you, and Jeff are standing out in the field in the same jersey, and I just decide to do something, I mean, where is the team in that?
Yeah.
This is my individual. I go off on my own, and I'm representing, the camaraderie of a team and what we stand for. What is the first word in NFL? It's national. Well, what nation are they representing? America.
Right. Yeah.
If you don't want to go through what you see as some type of falsity because we're portraying patriotism, then you know what? As the NFL would say, I will allow you to do that.
Yeah.
But you're not going to come on the field till we're done.
I totally agree. I said last week he should be fined and benched if he's not willing to. I understand his situation as a backup, but he should be removed. It should be a decision by the NFL and the team. And that's why I'm not sure you can blame the players at this point, because it's the NFL that's allowing it to go on.
I totally agree. And even if they didn't do anything to him, they can at least make the statement that his actions have brought to light that we need to address something like this because we don't represent that.
Yeah.
And I think that would be more than fair. I mean, I look at it, and I don't know, some of the stories online on Facebook and social media, they're false. They're made-up stories, but about players being fined because they're going to wear red, white, and blue cleats, or they can't put a sticker on their helmet. But I mean, if one can do one, it's got to be one way or another. And I would support the NFL if they said none of it. I mean, we represent football. People pay to come and watch that for entertainment, and no personal philosophies. And if you want to support the team, listen, go outside the field and do it. I have no problem with that. But I just think you're spitting in the face of the country, the foundation that gave them what they did, because they're $1 billion.
And I would like to talk just, the whole Black Lives Matter thing is like any other movement. It's taken on new life, and in some cases, it leaves the facts behind. Are there cases in the United States where police officers have targeted black men? I'm assuming there are. I believe that there are, especially in some parts of America.
Yeah. Yep.
But this has then taken on a new life to the point that You talk about things that aren't really true in social media stuff. Much of the stuff that's supporting a lot of this movement is stuff that isn't even real. That's an issue. I would think that the NFL would say, listen, we support fairness, we support all races, but this is turning your moment, your demonstration, and you're using our platform to do it. The answer is you're not allowed. Period.
I totally agree with you. I mean, I just don't see, that to go to an extreme. I mean, if some 3 players showed up on the field with white hoods during it and said we're going to burn a cross,
right?
I mean, they would shut that down so quick, and they rightfully should shut it down.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I do agree. There's instances in this country we need to fine-tune policing.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. And there's isolated incidents, and thank God it's a few. It's statistically shown.
Right.
But it comes to improving leadership and improving training.
Yeah.
So these officers aren't left on their own to make split-second decisions without any backing to do so. So we really do need to improve that on some level. But let's work together. I talked to people from Black Lives Matter and had great communication with them.
Yeah.
They don't stand for stuff like this.
Right.
There was some civil rights activists that said, his point in what he's doing, it's just
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, it's not his. It's just I wish the NFL would really, take a stance on just a respect for his country, because that song and that flag, that's the foundation for the rights he has, and it's just representative of that. And to do that, I don't know. To me, it's just
I agree, and it's especially on. I mean, it should be the case every day of the year, but on 9/11, it just magnifies it so much more. It's terrible. And by the way, we talked about your demonstration here. We didn't really talk about what it is, so tell everybody what it is that you've done.
Well, I won't support the National Football League in any form or fashion, at least consciously. I know you come into contact with things here and there, but I mean, I'm not going to go, out to Monday Night Football, Thursday night. I'm not going to have it played in my house. I'm not going to display anything. I'm a New York Giants fan, whether people, are for them or against them. I think they're a great team, but again, I took all my stuff out of my office, all my stuff at home, put it in a box and put it away until the NFL. I just feel
they got to step
really
up.
Should make a stand.
I totally agree. Very interesting.
Rob, you missed a good game yesterday. We're 1-0, just so you know.
Just for the record.
Well, I can still say I do hope the Giants make out good. I just unfortunately I just can't be a part of it. I sat till probably 3 a.m. up on the 9/11 when all the shows, the different documentaries started. Yeah. And if I could say there were times that things brought several tears to my eyes, 15 years later, and that just that doesn't drive the point home. Like you said, though, it's 9/11. I mean, what better timing to show? You know what? Maybe this is time to say, for the thousands of people who died from Pearl Harbor to now, in situations like that, we really do need to be supportive of the freedoms we have, and that's just one of the symbols of it.
All right. Well, listen, we're with you. Under Sheriff Rob Swenzkowski, we wish you the best. I know you're in the midst of traveling, so safe travels. And let's see if the NFL finally gets the message here, because you're not the only one. They're going to finally take a stand on this. It's got to happen.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. You guys take care.
Got a break. Coming right back. You want to add?
I just want to add one thing. I mentioned earlier this morning the NBA player who did it, and I believe he did it it was a religious objection because God is in the Pledge of Allegiance. Or
again,
I know
it's
this is
the
different. It's
the
a
same
national
kid that
anthem.
has to sit out the Pledge of Allegiance and stuff like that. That's a completely different thing. And while that can cause its own controversy, it's different. This is the country that allows you to protest. You're spitting on the country that allows you to do this protest, that allows you to make your millions, by the way.
If it was a religious objection, would we still feel the same way? Like the NBA, like the NFL should fine him or tell him he can't play?
I don't think so. I think it'd be different. I mean, think of Muhammad Ali. It was very controversial, but Muhammad Ali, based on his Muslim faith, did not enter the draft. And that was a huge that was a huge story, but it was based on his faith. He had the right to do that.
So I
But
think
this is completely different.
I don't want to make it seem like I'm. I don't even want to get into where I am on this, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm coming out one way or the other. But is it fair if someone objected based on a religious grounds to say, okay, you can object for that reason, but you can't object for this reason, or you can't sit for this reason?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's another can of worms there that the NFL doesn't want to get into.
Yeah.
If that's part of the reason they're not taking a stand.
Well, at the end of the day, they could put a stop to this, and they really should. Here we are again with another season, and you're not talking about what's going on the field. Last year it was what? What was it? We had Deflategate, and the year before that it was battery,
domestic
violence, and all of that. And as Rob says, oh, by the way, just don't forget, we're talking about the National Felon League. They have plenty of cases where they've allowed players to play despite stuff that's gone on in their personal lives with domestic violence. So here we are, another year. We're not talking about football. We're talking about some other sideline ridiculousness, and I'm not sure that it's good for anybody.